I'm very fond of Dvorak's music. There's something rhythmic, lyrical, and just very folksy about his music. I've adored his symphonies, and now I'm sort of looking into some of the smaller pieces that he wrote. And this overture has been around, well, since 1882. It's a very charming, exciting, and meant to be a real tribute to his homeland, and hence the title, My Home. Midori is from Japan, but her main training was in New York with a very legendary violin teacher by the name of Dorothy DeLay, who was the teacher of Perlman, Zuckerman a bit, and all of the younger virtuosos like Nadja Salerno-Sonnenberg, Bobby McDuffie. What really made Midori stand out amongst the crowd is that her public debut was made at the age of 6, and she made headlines with Zubin Mehta, having played at the age of 7 with the New York Philharmonic, and then a very legendary performance of Leonard Bernstein's Serenade, which she played with Bernstein on the podium. And towards the end of the work, she broke not only one of her violin strings, but 2. And so there was a series of violin swaps with the concertmaster, with the assistant concertmaster, in order for her to complete the performance of this piece, and it even made the front page of the New York Times. It's an interesting concerto in that it is a very virtuosic piece, but not in the sense of fireworks and incredible violinistic display as one would maybe hear in a Paganini piece or a concerto. This is more of a musical piece in a manner of speaking, like the Beethoven concerto. But that's not to say it isn't difficult to play. It is very difficult to play. But it's challenging for the violinist in that he or she has to have a very probing mind and a very deep felt interpretation of the piece, which is what this piece requires. This is a piece that got him into big trouble. It was written in 1945, and Stalin had just defeated Hitler in the war and was feeling very powerful and very good about himself. And Shostakovich, who really disliked Stalin, and I'm putting that very lightly, was pressed to write a 9th symphony. That was the next one in the series. And Stalin had expected Shostakovich to create an uber-Mahlerian Beethoven 9th type of work, a very celebratory piece, perhaps with chorus, maybe lasting an hour in length. And what he got instead was a 25-minute symphony that is filled with sarcasm and I'd say a lot of melancholy and bitterness. And it's written for a rather small orchestra. And in fact, its length is so short, he hadn't written a shorter symphony since the 2nd symphony. Many of them have been 45 minutes to an hour in length, but Shostakovich was in no mood to celebrate Stalin in this way. So he created this work. Most of the critics at the time dismissed it as a trivial piece of music. And eventually, 3 years later, Shostakovich was blacklisted as a formalist and not producing what was expected of him.